All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Second of all, I want to give double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Elder Tahar, and on down to Rule Well. And third of all, I want to give a peace and safety to the hope for the elect out there, the brothers that push this truth, the truth of the King James Bible, and all truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe. All right, so I just want to do a short lesson on how alone the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai allows it to go. I don't want to name the video. Many shall betray one another. All right, and that's paraphrasing from St. Matthew, the 24th chapter, starting around the 9th to 10th verse, I believe. Which I'm gonna get here in a second. All right, but Lord wills, brothers can see on the screen. I have this article here from the Zero Hedge, and it says a nation of snitches, DHS, which is Department of Homeland Security, is grooming Americans to report on each other. Right, basically they're telling each other. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, the elders, starting with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, the brothers ranking on down, speak about the great demonization that's coming. All right, how basically these people here in America that see us on the highways and the byways, your family members and all that know what you're involved in, are going to betray us. And we know that because the Lord Yahweh Shai, our Lord, has told us that. All right, that our families are going to turn on us. Even the scriptures also say, beware of every brother, because some brothers will utterly supplant, roughly paraphrasing. So you got guys that's in the truth that's going to betray you, that's going to betray some brothers. All right. So, these times are coming. All right. The Lord said that the servant is not greater than his master. They demonize the Lord, and they're going to demonize us. All right. And right along with your activity on YouTube, what you're searching. Esau watches all that, man. He knows what you're watching. These watching videos, putting up videos, watching these conspiracy theories videos. Esau is watching all of that, man. All right, Esau is watching all that. So he has that going for him. Spying on you, what you're watching, and all that. And also, there's gonna be certain people that you're close to, that are going to finger point at you as well. All right, and we gotta expect that, because again, Yahweh Shai, our great lords, told us that that was going to happen. All right, that people are going to tell on you, demonize you, say, yeah, he's a terrorist, all this crap. All right, which we're not terrorists at all. We're not a hate group. We're, like Elder to always say, we're a truth group. All right, but again, this day is coming, man. All right, where people that see you on the highways and the byways, your family members, all that, are going to tell on you, report you to the DHS, Homeland Security, and Southern Poverty Law Center. Uh, martial law to whatever, the authorities at that time, whatever. All right, we have to expect those times. All right, because again, the servant is not greater than his Lord. All right, so I'm gonna read a little bit of the article. It says, there were relatively few secret police, and most were just processing the information coming in. I had found a shocking fact. It wasn't the secret police who were doing this. A wide scale of surveillance and hidden on every street corner. It was the ordinary German people who were informing on their neighbors. Right. So again, your neighbor, your coworker, your family member see you out doing the highways and the byways. All right. Um, so on and so forth. They're the ones that's gonna finger point at you. They're the ones that's gonna finger point at us. All right. Family members, again, your coworkers, your neighbors, whatever. All right. They're the ones that's gonna finger point at you and tell on you. All right. But again, we know this because the Lord has told us these things. Uh, are you among the 41% of Americans who regularly attend church or some other religious service? Do you believe the economy is about to collapse? Yes, we do. And the government will soon declare martial law? Yes, we do. Do you display an unusual number of political and or ideological bumper stickers on your car? No, I don't do that. Well, we don't do that. Brothers may do that. I don't know, but I don't do that. Are you among the 44% of Americans who live in a household with a gun? If so, are you considering that the government and a lot of gun-toting American citizens, people are going to tell on them? You know, oh, he's a doomsday prepper. Now you see these preppers on YouTube and all that. These gun-toting, red-blooded Americans that's on YouTube, flossing their guns, flaunting their guns. They're gonna tell on them. They look, he's got all them guns over there. He's a hoarder or whatever. They're gonna get the finger pointed at them too. But we're the ones that's going to get the bigger finger pointed at us, because Esau is going to demonize us the heaviest. All right. The government may be plotting to confiscate your firearms. If you answer yes to any of these above questions, you may be an anti-government extremist, aka domestic terrorist. When they put us under that category, domestic terrorist. All right. In the eyes of the government, and flagged for heightening surveillance and premium intervention. If you believe in any exercising your rights under the Constitution, which we believe in free speech, namely your right to speak freely, which is what we use to, really the only thing, the most important, the only thing we really, you know, the Constitution is good for free speech, and that's gone. Worshipping freely, associating with like-minded individuals who share your political views, critical of the government's own weapon demand and warrant before being questioned for searching, or any other activity viewed as potentially anti-government, racist, bigot, anarchy, or sovereignty. You have just been promoted to the tops of the government's terrorist watch list, which we're at the very top of the list. I assure you, I'm not making this stuff up. So what is the government doing about these so-called American extremists? The government is grooming American people to spy on each other. Right. Again, your family members, your neighbors, your coworkers, they might have seen you on the highways and the byways. All right. Even outside of us, people that are preppers that put their shit on YouTube, their guns on YouTube and all that shit. All right. Your neighbors are spying on you. They're the one that's gonna be finger pointing at you. All right, in that day, American people to spy on each other as part of the Center of Prevention Program and partnership of the CP3 program. According to the journalist Leo Honaman, the government is handing out 20 million in grants to police, mental health, nationwide, university, churches, and school districts like it, to enlist their help in identifying Americans who may be, so they're paying money for this, politically distant for potential extremists. As Hoffman explained, rather it's the big C-19, and the vaccination, the war in Ukraine, immigration, the Second Amendment, the Rainbow Club, ideology, child gender confusion, and interrogating of elections integrity of election Salakia, or issued for potential life in the womb, you are no longer allowed to hold disdain options and voice their public in their uh voice them your opinions Salakia, and voice them in public in America. If you do, your own government will take notes and consider you a potential violent extremist and terrorist. All right, cut to draw of the snitch state. The new era of snitching surveillance is the love child of the government's post 911 see something, say something program, combined with self-righteous or potential correction hyper. Well, that's pretty much all I want to read. Pretty much. Let me see. Let me read this part. The government has been designated to design September 25th as National If You See Something, Say Something Awareness Day. If you see something suspicious, say the DHS says something about it to the police, call it in to a government hotline, or report it using, people call the cops on us, man. To call the cops on brothers, you know. Even with us, we know people have called the cops on us before. All right. This the Southern Property Law Center. How you think we brothers ended up on that list? All right, people people probably, well, maybe not all brothers ended up on the list that way, but more probably Americans. Some people call it in. Yeah, we got Israelites here. All right, or whatever. You know, so they got your own. They got the American people doing the dirty work. All right, on top of the cameras and people are already giving up all the information because everybody's putting everything. You know, because everything's up on YouTube or on some other platform. All right. On top of that, you got people out Americans ratting on each other. All right. This is DHS slogan and nothing more than the government's way of indoctrinating we the people into a mindset that we're an extension of government and as such have patriotic duties to be suspicious of spying on and turning in our fellow citizens. Right. So yeah, man. And the Lord spoke about this. Again, your family members, you know, guys that was in the truth, once in the truth, or that's in the truth, that's going to turn. All right, get your coworker or whatever. A lot of people are going to be finger pointing at us when that time comes. But you gotta be prepared for it, cause like the Lord Yahweh said, the servant is not greater than his Lord. All right, and that great demonization is coming, and many false witnesses, like with the Lord, it said many false witnesses came up against him. Same thing is going to be with some of the brethren. A lot of false witnesses are going to bear false witness. All right. Oh, they're violent, they're crazy, they're screaming, they're hateful, you know, so on and so forth. All right. But again, the Lord is going to keep the elect's mind stable, man, in that day. This is St. Matthew chapter 24, verse 9. This shall they deliver you up to be afflicted. Right, turn you in to be afflicted. Thrown into a camp, you know, so on and so forth. And shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake, which we are. We hated even the one for the names of Yahweh, for pushing the righteous names of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Not only are we hated by all the nations out there, we're hated by our own people. We got Esau coming up against us, 2/3 of our people coming up against us, and all the other nations coming up against us. All for the Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. But it's cool. All right, why? Because that's prophecy and it got to be fulfilled. Here's the main point. And then shall many be offended, which a lot of people are offended. Oh, they're hateful. Look what they're saying. You know, they're racist. They're hate women. You know, whatever. All right, they're talking about putting people in slavery. Many people are offended at this truth. All right, and that's why they're going to finger point, because they want to see us harmed. All right, like they wanted to see the Lord Yahweh Shah harmed for what he was saying. But it was the truth. And like they say in the world, the truth hurts. All right, and instead of hearing the truth, they rather see us get afflicted, you know, hurt, banged up or whatever, thrown into a camp, arrested. All right, betray one another. A guy that was once in a camp, a guy that you think is solid, you know, is going to betray. Go to the DHS, Southern Poverty Law Center, or whatever, one another, and shall hate one another. Right, and shall hate one another. All right, so it's, again, it says many, and so like it shall be offended and shall betray one another. All right. And again, what better way to portray somebody is go finger point at them and tell them go report you to the so-called proper authorities. Yeah, he out there preaching hate. You know, he's been out there for years preaching hate. You know, he is a terrorist. He's talking about America being destroyed. He's a domestic terrorist. He needs to be dealt with, arrested. And your own family member could go is going to finger point at people, finger point at you. You know, your neighbor, your whatever, coworker, whatever, is gonna finger point at you. All right, somebody you thought was solid, was cool, a family member you thought was solid, straight. Like I said again, the Lord Yahweh shall say it again, and shall betray one another. Right, betray you how? By giving you up to the authorities, giving you up to Esau. All right, and this day is coming, and the Lord has warned us about this day, about these times, about backstabbing, betraying one another. All right, it's going to happen, man. And your family members, or some guy that saw you, whoever is going to tell you, man, gonna finger point at you. I know I keep saying it, but it's gonna happen. And this is proof. There's gonna be regular American citizens that's gonna finger point and lie on you and bear false witness on you. And say that you're hateful and violent and all that. Which we're hateful and violent, which we're not. Alright? Well, we do hate Esau. Alright, but we got a just reason to hate him. Because he's wicked. He's evil. And all he's done is treated us wickedness. Dealt harshly with us. Bad with us. So we got a right to hate Esau. And we do hate Esau. Alright? And we don't apologize for hating Esau. And the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahushua, who the world ignorance calls God in Christ, hates Esau. Alright? So we got every right in the world to hate Esau. And we do. Alright? And we don't care who's mad about it, who don't like it. If you got a problem with it, may Yahushua Salat Rayum you, man. If you don't hate Esau, man. You're supposed to hate this devil, man. Alright? You're supposed to hate anybody that's offended in the names of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the doctrine of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Alright? That's why the Lord is going to eliminate the 2/3 of our people because they're offended. And the Lord Yahushua said what? Blessed is he that is not offended in me. Alright? And the majority of our people are offended in this word, which is of Yahushua. Psalms 40 and 7. Lord, I come in the volume of the book that is written in me. Written of who? Yahushua. So really you're offended in Yahweh Yahushua, which is a problem. And you're going to be dealt with. Alright? Because you're really coming against the Lord. You finger pointing at us for starting with the elders and brothers and ringing on down. You're coming against the Lord. You got a problem with the words of the Lord. Alright? Which Yahweh Yahushua is going to eliminate you, man. Take you off the earth. Alright? If you got a problem with his word. Alright? Eventually. Alright, so with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and safety to you, brothers that push this truth and sincerity. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.